Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and I am a child of the 80s. I'm a child of all of that time, the great pop culture, and especially the home video stores, right? I remember to this day my very first time going to Blockbuster. I remember going in there and being completely enthralled by the selection that they had and spending so much time wandering through the aisles and wandering around and looking at different movies and picking out what I wanted to rent. And that kept me going for decades, it felt like, just absolute decades. That, of course, until the mid-2000s when Netflix became a thing, and Blockbuster's greatest mistake was not purchasing Netflix when they had the opportunity, albeit given how they ran their business, Netflix probably would not be the powerhouse that it is today had they sold. But ultimately, that is what led to this story right here, where we are looking at the last Blockbuster video store in existence. Is in Oregon, not too far away from me, and I'm actually very tempted to make a journey down there. But it says here, Blockbuster Video's last two Alaska stores close, leaving lone Oregon outlet. How crazy is that? That there's only one Blockbuster that's going to be left here very soon, and even John Oliver wasn't able to save one of the ones in I think it was Fairbanks or Anchorage, which is something he made a big deal about on his show just a few weeks ago. Now it says here, and then there was one. Blockbuster Video, once the ubiquitous part of America's landscape and leisure time, is down to one Oregon location after it was announced today that its two remaining Alaska stores are closing. The final Blockbuster Video stores in Anchorage and Fairbanks are closing their rental businesses on Monday, July 16th, but will reopen Tuesday through the end of August to sell off their inventory. That leaves one lone Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon as the last man standing in a video chain that at its peak had more than 9,000 stores, half outside the U.S., and employed more than 84,000 people worldwide. Blockbuster founder Wayne Huizenga died in March. So one Blockbuster remains, just the one. And it's so weird to look at that number to go, there were 9,000 stores, 84,000 people employed. And that part of, it's not I don't want to just say Americana, because obviously it said half of its stores were in the US, half of them were abroad, but it feels like it is a big slice of not only like late 80s pop culture, but 90s and early 2000s. I mean, it was like a staple. It's like, oh, where you want to go tonight? Oh, let's go to Blockbuster, rent a movie, and it was very iconic with their with their bucks. I used to go to my local Blockbuster when I was a teenager for Donkey Kong Country tournaments and other video game tournaments they would hold there. They were trying to be part of this community. They were trying to make events for everybody, and it was just fun. I'd go there to buy used movies. I like to go buy obscure Blu-rays if I can find them. So I'd go there and look what I could find. I'd go deal hunting at Blockbuster, and I always loved it. And I'm very sad that there's only one that remains. It says here, talk show host John Oliver tried to help the struggling Alaska stores in April, sending them a number of Russell Crowe items to one of the two Anchorage stores. Oliver purchased items from a Crowe divorce auction, including a leather jockstrap that Crowe wore in Cinderella Man, a hood from Robin Hood, and a vest from Les Miserables. When the stunt caused a flurry of attention, it was not enough. But the thing is, though, it's not enough because people aren't going to travel to Anchorage, Alaska, or Fairbanks, Alaska, to check out a Blockbuster that has the leather jockstrap that he wore in Cinderella Man. You know what I mean? Or like the hood from Robin Hood. They're not going to go and do that. You know what I mean? It's a nice gesture. It's a funny gesture. It really kind of messed with Russell Crowe, and Russell Crowe fought back in a very comedic way. But it's not enough because there's not enough tourism that's there. Bend, Oregon, on the other hand, is a different story, but we'll get to that here in a second. It says here, but the Blockbuster company filed for bankruptcy in 2010, and most of its stores shuttered soon after. But Alaska has been something of a diehard for the chain, with stores in Wasilla, North Pole, and Soldotna finally closing earlier this year, along with another Anchorage location. The owner of the Alaska store said he determined 9 months ago that renewing the remaining store lease wouldn't make financial sense. The last two Alaska store leases ended in August. Surprisingly, the stores are still profitable, he claimed, albeit rapidly declining. And the reason why is because of their remote location. It's absolutely 100% because of that remote location. Alaska is larger than Texas, but just so sparsely populated that I was in Alaska like 2 years ago. There's no internet. If there is, it's very minimal. You have to go to internet stores at a few places, or internet cafes are a big thing there. It's so remote. You're renting movies because that's how you can get it easy. You can't stream because the bandwidth won't really allow you to. Now, granted, I was in like Juneau and Skagway and a few other places, but not upwards towards Anchorage and Fairbanks. So I don't quite know how it is over there. But even Juneau, the capital of the state, I had to go to a bar and buy a Corona in Alaska in order to just get access to the Wi-Fi so I could send a damn email. Right? Like that is how sparse the internet is. So you can understand to that extent how Blockbuster survived in Alaska, right? I get that. In Bend, though, it's a different story. Bend has grown from a small Southern Oregon town to a bustling city of over 100,000 people. It's being referred to now as like the new Silicon Valley of Oregon. A lot of people from Silicon Valley actually commute up to Bend quite often. It's a quick flight to get from San Francisco up to Bend. It's not that bad. And as a result of that, it's over 100,000 people. It's this weird kind of like jewel. I don't want to call it a jewel, but it's this big city in the middle of nowhere down in Southern Oregon. It's beautiful down there. So a store like this could survive off of, if anything, nostalgia alone. Right? Just nostalgia alone could keep this store around. So there's definitely a different market that's going to apply to that particular Blockbuster in that particular world. And I'm very curious to see how it does. I'm going to keep tabs on it. And if and when it closes down anytime soon, or if I'm able to make my way down there, I will definitely shoot a little mini vlog and post it over to the vlog channel, which I think will be a lot of fun for everyone to check out. And so hopefully the Blockbuster will remain on pure nostalgia and keep around for a while, because I understand that it's selfish of me to say this. I get that it's a dying breed. We all do internet streaming now, but part of me just wants to hold on to it, if anything, for like just like a look back into a time that is now decades past. And that's very weird to say out loud, but I'm a big movie buff, so for me that's how I view it. And yeah, I'm curious to know your thoughts. So let me know in the comments below what you guys have to say about this. Is this something you'd make a pilgrimage to? Would you travel across the country or the world to go to the closing of this last Blockbuster, to see it with your own eyes as that era ends? Or do you just not care and want to go back to streaming shit on Netflix? These are things I'm curious to know. Let me know down in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video and subscribe, and check back often for more content from me. In fact, if you want to watch more content, you can do so right now. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month over at patreon.com/mundanematt.